Hey, what's going on YouTube? Jora here. I watching TV because there's actually nothing to watch, and I hate watching TV. Um, this house is so boring right now. This is obviously not Valley or whatever, but man, oh, I'm so tired right now. I'm so sorry. Well, I decided to record videos now. I have no idea. But this house is completely empty. Well, not completely empty, obviously. I got stuff back there, but my room, my dad's room, my computer's packed away in that box, big blue thing over there, so it's like nothing to do, and I'm bored. Just kidding, I don't get bored. But I figured I'd record some videos while I have the chance to, because I haven't uploaded in 2 weeks, I think. I don't know, it's June 1st right now. So I figured I'd record some videos. If I can remember these topics, that'd be great. I probably won't remember them, so it's going to be a lot of me saying ums and thinking about what these topics were, because I forget, and my legs are really hurting, because I saw my friend move yesterday. It's been like 9 hours helping him move stuff, and my god, my body is so in pain right now. I also feel sick right now, but who cares about that? What do I want to talk about? I need to update you guys and everything. I haven't uploaded in a couple weeks. So I'm just dealing with all the lawyer stuff and all that crap and whatever. This angle makes me look better, but I've been trying to work on everything, and my phone just got worse, and this looks kind of cool actually. But anyway, I've been trying to just take time to work on everything that's been going on, whatever, and hopefully within the next week, this week, well, I guess because it's Friday, by the end of this, by the end of next week, there we go. I should have everything I need to basically be set up on my own, because within a matter of a couple weeks, 2, possibly 3 weeks, I will basically have no home other than Valley and that kind of stuff. But needless to say, I'm on my own from here on out, which I guess I kind of wanted to talk about that and how that kind of feels like transferring from into adulthood sort of thing. I don't know. I'm not used to this kind of conversation, but I figured I'd talk about this sort of topic. That, like, what's it like, or, maybe you're 16 or 17 right now, and maybe you're already over 18, you're still living at your parents' house. That'd be great. But I guess, like, what's it like, things like that. And let's just say, we always, well, a lot of people I know, and me, myself, we wish that we could be alone. Or that we just want to be out of the house, or we hate our parents, or things like that. And let me just say, the quote of "be careful what you wish for" is true. Because you may want something, like, let's say you want to be moved out of your parents' house, so you wish for that. But because you wish for that, you still have to go through all the processes that it takes to be able to do that. I wanted to be out of here for 2 years. And I have to go through the process of literally becoming, or having all these fights, getting kicked out of schools, just dealing with all this stupid hate and bullshit, and hardly being able to sleep, and then to the point of literally losing absolutely everything for hopefully the last time. Most of my friends, I lost school, progress in school, all my goals that I had set kind of just got scratched off the list pretty much instantly. And, you had to lose everything, and I became homeless for a couple weeks, and I guess I'll talk about what that was like, too. I must say, being homeless, it sucks. Yeah, it's not the best thing, and people will hate you, because you're homeless, and because the people just don't like you staying in their buildings all that much, like, even if it's like a grocery store or something, people don't like you staying there for too long, especially if you look like this, and you just spend a lot of time. People judge you a lot. And at first, I didn't think that would actually happen. Because I'm like, maybe they'd feel bad for you, or they would just kind of let you stay there if you're still buying a couple drinks a day or something like that. And that's not the case. You always see people, like, homeless people on, like, TVs and movies and stuff, where they're always on the street, or people are always ignoring them and stuff like that. And that's something I want to change, as I do charity streams, stuff like that. It's helping, like, see the homeless. Like, they're not bad people, There's just, people don't seem to think of them as people anymore, and it's stupid. It really is, and I guess me having the kind heart that I am, I don't really see. I see through their smells and looks and all that kind of stuff, and you don't know the backstory of everything. There's always a backstory to everything, and it's sad how people can see someone homeless and just kind of just push them off their shoulder. I mean, obviously, maybe their own fault got them to that place, but like again, you don't have backstory. Maybe their whole family died and you don't know this, and you're just kind of brushing them off your shoulder, like that's no big deal. They did this to themselves, sort of thing. And like I understand why a lot of people do a lot of things that they do. I completely understand, and I wish I didn't, and I don't know how I understand, but I do. And I understand why you would, not talk to a homeless person or help them or whatever. But I mean, without understanding, it's hard to, I guess, connect and kind of realize like, hey, they need help, sort of thing. And being homeless, some people would give me money, and they'd see them. Been at like a coffee place for like a whole week, sitting in the same place all week for the same amount of time. People come up to me, and some people would kind of hide it, or this one old lady gave me $20. She like put it in a little napkin, be like, "Here, take this." She didn't even say anything. She kind of just left it there, looked at me, left it there, and walked away. And I said, "Thank you." And every single time I was given money, even by one of my teachers called Mr. Lovell. He's been. I saw him a couple of years ago, back in grade 8, because we went to like a wood shop class sort of thing, kind of like teaching us like what it was like. So when we go to high school, if we wanted to do woodshop, we could do that. And he was the substitute who was there at that time. And the moment I saw him, I kind of have this weird connection with him. And that might sound really creepy, and it does sound creepy, but I had like a connection with him. I trusted him for some reason. And I don't know, I just felt like I knew him before. And if I did know him before, good for me. But he's always been there to help me. And I hardly know the guy, but he's always cared about me, and I don't know, I don't know, he just came up to me, he's helped me here and there, and, when he was homeless, he always hits me right at home, to be honest. He hits me right in the feels, because, he saw I was homeless, and he's like, "Man, I feel so bad for you, and most people don't have to deal with this," and stuff like that, and he knows my issues, and he knows that I'm struggling. Even when he asks me questions like, "Are you feeling okay?" I just kind of look him in the eyes. I don't even have a chance of saying this, like, "Yeah, no, you're not." He knows, and I hate it when people know things like that. As much as I love it, I hate it because I don't want people to worry about me, sort of thing. And when it comes to someone who knows that you're not happy and you're not doing okay, and maybe even knows your intentions at times, it's really hard to just kind of just look at them and be like, "Yep, that's what's going on," sort of thing. And he's always able to just kind of read right through my mask and just be like, "Yep, he needs help." Even from day one, that's probably why we connected so well. It's just how well we could read each other, sort of thing. I don't know, it's weird, but I like him. He's a cool guy. But he gave me some money as well. And there's a couple other people. This one lady who runs the church actually gave me a little thing, a little pamphlet, telling me about God and whatever. And I'm not a religious person. I don't believe in God or Jesus or whatever the hell. I'd like to believe that there's like other places you can go when you die, since I've seen ghosts and dealt with ghosts. If you don't believe that, it's good for you. I'll believe in hell or heaven or whatever, but like at the same time, when you die, you're dead. Like what are you gonna? You're dead. I like to believe that you have choices when you die, though. Sort of thing, like where you can go to heaven and maybe see everyone that you remember in your life, or maybe even just spend time with anyone you want, sort of thing, that have passed away, or maybe it could be not redirected. For fuck, I can't even say the word where you come back to life, sort of thing. Is like something different. And let's say Sorry, TV's on. It's something weird. Let's say you die as a human and you come back as a squirrel, and let's say you die as a squirrel day one, and then you can't be a squirrel again, sort of thing. I like to believe that's the thing, a reincarnation sort of thing. I like to believe that's also a thing. Um, and then maybe you got the thing of being a ghost or going to hell, sort of thing, where you can travel the world with no consequences and no one can really see you or hear you or do anything with you unless like ghost boxes and stuff like that. But the catch is that you are stuck being a ghost, you know? It might be fun for a little bit, get to travel the entire world, maybe even go to outer space, stuff like that, but it's like you can't communicate with anybody, you're just stuck there alone with your thoughts and all that kind of stuff. Being able to do anything you want pretty much, but no one can see you, hear you, feel you, all that kind of stuff. So I like to believe that's what hell is like. And because hell, people say like hell is kind of like the last day where you see what you could have became, sort of thing. It's kind of like you pick the wrong path in your life, or this is the path that you could have became, or whatever, which could be good, could also be bad. But I don't know. I don't know. This is a weird. Anyway, she gave me a thingy, and I haven't read it. I probably still have it somewhere though, but I haven't read it. It's about God and the world and whatever. She asked me extra questions like, what's your perfect world sort of thing or whatever, and like what's one of the biggest issues in the world. And I'm pretty sure we can all agree on that people are one of the biggest reasons for a lot of things in the world. Wars and fights and just all that kind of stuff. And it's hard to talk about these sort of things, but they are real life issues. And I don't want to turn this into something like political or whatever. I might do that as a series because I don't care. An opinion's an opinion. If it gets me in trouble, good for it. I'm a nice guy and all, but if I'm going to talk about something, I'm going to talk about something. And if someone wants to listen, go ahead. If you don't want to agree with me, go ahead. I don't care. Like, I've been bullied all my life. I really do not care. But it's like, I don't know. I don't know where I'm going with this. I don't know where I'm going with this. Anyway, people help me. Being homeless, when people help you, you sort of feel kind of bad, but at the same time you feel good. And I don't know. I almost cried like every time someone gave me money because I'm like, man, you really didn't have to do that. Like, I'm struggling, I know, but like you didn't have to help me, sort of thing. And that hurts sometimes. Getting help and things like that, but one of the biggest lessons I've learned in the last year, when I was told to learn all these lessons pretty much, is time. And normally I'm like, you have all your hopes and dreams, live them, do whatever, and I've always been on that track, and over the past couple years I've been in a very, 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 very dark place, and I'll do that in a separate video, kind of explain that, but I haven't been myself. And as much as suicidal as I was, I still had hopes and dreams. And upon finding Georgia, that made it very clear of what I wanted, where my goals are headed, and stuff like that. And one thing that I kind of missed out on and forgot about is time. And how you may have all these things that you want, but it may take a couple of years. And sometimes you don't really have that long either, and you gotta work your way around it, kind of like my situation right now. I need to be moved out in a couple weeks, and I haven't been working for 2 years, and stuff like that, so I physically do not have a way of making the money to be able to even handle myself alone. Obviously I'm working that out, and that might be done in a couple days. Hopefully, because if that doesn't work, I'm actually screwed, and I'll never be able to save Georgia. Story for another day. Probably the GSG thing, or it's CG. What did I call it? SGS. That's what it was. SGS. Anyways, so one of the biggest lessons in life that you can learn, and again, a lot of these sort of the Year of the Phoenix videos are kind of to help you guys sort of understand and go through all this with me, is time. You need to understand that yes, it may take a couple of years to do what you want, and at the same time, you may not have a couple of years, and sometimes it may take let's say, a couple days to do what you needed to do, but let's say you can't do it until like a week from now, sort of thing, and that's where things get very difficult. And like I explained before, destiny is not real, but fate is, and that's where you have to pick your paths. Fate will give you this sort of object that you want. And let's say fate says it needs to be in 3 days that you need to get this object before it's gone. You need to pick the paths. Destiny is sort of something like, hey, here's the paths, we're going to do this and this and this. Destiny's not real, it's fate. And, fate gave you this object, takes 3 days, but let's say everything you thought would work out doesn't, and you're not gonna be able to get that object for about a week or so. And you got to work your way around that. Is you got to think outside of the box. And when I mean outside the box, is think outside of logical situations. Let's say you need to travel the world in a month. The logical situation would be to get a job. The non-logical situation and choice would be to get a loan or sell your car, stuff like that. And sometimes that's the risk you have to take to get what you need. And I'm not saying that, yes, to go sell your car right now to get what you want, but you need to think outside the box. Because, yes, things take time. But at the same time, some things need to be done in a certain amount of time that can seem impossible. And that's what I want you guys to figure out on your sort of ashes, embers, whatever list, or whatever I call it. I don't remember now. I don't remember this time, because I'm tired as shit. But I want you guys to remember that. Is pick paths. Even if you write down paths, every opportunity and choice you have, getting a job, getting a loan, things like that, is just pick the path. It may not be something you directly want to do at that time, but if it gets you to your goal, you're gonna want to do it anyways. Like maybe you don't want to sell your car, but getting your goal will make you happy. So sell your car and buy a new one at some point, sort of thing. So you have to take risks and pick your paths and stuff like that. As hard as it is, and I haven't been able to get a job in time, and here we are at the end of the road where I'm on my own from here on out. Like, I'm on my own now. And 2 years ago I was planning on being in LA beside my girl, having a good time. By a good time, I mean watching movies, going for walks, stuff like that. I also want to talk about that subject on another video, so I might record 2 more videos. By that subject, I mean something that, I don't know, you'll know what I mean when I'm gonna record that, but time is very important, and time doesn't stop for anybody. Time just doesn't stop in general, When you're waiting for something like a doctor's appointment or something, you think an hour is super long. But then you remember there's only like 24 hours in a day, and around half of that we're sleeping it off. And you gotta remember how important every hour, every even minute, second is to your goals and hopes and dreams. Don't waste time like I have, Pick your paths. Don't be scared to do something, sort of thing. Like, if you want to sell your car, don't be scared to sell your car. Sell it to get whatever gets you to your hopes and dreams. Do not give up on them. Do anything in your possible way. Because if you love it and you care for it enough, nothing's going to get in your way. Nothing's going to stop you. So, always keep that in mind. Love you guys. I'll move on. 2 more videos. I'll see you guys in the next video. And see you guys.